Hey YouTubers, it's me Lisa. Doing something a little bit different today. As you can tell, I'm not in my craft room. I'm in the kitchen. Yeah, I spend a lot of time in here too. Lately especially, I've just been having a blast with all my cooking and everything. So I thought I would show you something fun and interesting that I'm doing with leftovers of all things. I've got my oven here. I'm going to set it for 350 to preheat. And what I've got is I roasted some vegetables yesterday to go with a meal we had, and I had some leftover, like I guess it was uh, pork loin. That's what it's called, brain pork loin that I did in my pressure cooker. And so I've added those two things together with a little bit of barbecue sauce, which I use the Gold Carolina kind just for this particular recipe. You could use anything you wanted to. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a pasty of sorts. And if you don't know what a pasty is, you're probably not from Cornwall or England. But pasties are a hand pie that the wives would make for the miners. And it's basically just, usually I think traditionally it would be um, diced beef with cubed rutabagas and onions and potatoes rolled up in the crust. And then they bake it and they stay hot for a long time and it's portable. So that's what they did. Well, my husband happens to love pasties. So I thought, well, I'll make a great big one with these leftovers. I can stick it in the freezer. And then when it's just the two of us for dinner sometimes and we need something quick to throw in the microwave and thaw out, but it's still good, this is what we're going to do. So let me show you what I'm going to do. This is the simplest thing in the world, quite honestly. Let me move you here a little bit so that you can see what I am doing. Okay, so I've got a cookie sheet here and I've got one of these just cheap old rolled out pie crusts that are ready made. And naturally, if you are Martha Stewart, you can make your own, or if you're in the mood, whatever. But just roll it out on your thingy here. And then you're just going to put the filling in the middle, and you want to kind of mound it up, sort of in a hill. As much as you think it'll hold. Of course, you don't want it to be too full, but naturally you want to get all those yummies in there. At least I do. My husband loves that I got this pressure cooker because I have just been cooking the heck out of all different kinds of meats, and it's been so much fun. But what I've got here is the roast beef. I've got some butternut squash, some regular potatoes, and some sweet potatoes that I cubed up. And these particular ones, I seasoned them with sort of a Southwest kind of flavor. So they were chili, lime, and honey. So they're spicy. They've got a little bitty sweetness to them. And then the caramelization around the edges, they were just so good. So I think it's going to be delicious in this pie all together with this really, really moist pork loin that I have left over. And just that touch of tangy from the Carolina barbecue sauce. Oh my gosh, now I'm hungry. So here we go. Another thing I want to put in here is some Parmesan cheese. 1 second. I'm right next to the fridge here, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Forgot about that part, so I didn't unwrap my cheese, but you can use the shaved cheese if you want to. I like to use the shredded, so we'll put a little bit of that in here. And I'm going to save that, and when we do the top of the pie, I will put a little bit of that in there as well, on top as well. So we've got our filling, we've got our Parmesan. My hands are clean. I might be able to get a little bit more on the ends, but not much. I'm just going to kind of try to pick out all the little pieces of beef here, and then I'll give the rest of it to the doggies because they will go crazy. And the only thing that's in here that they probably shouldn't have a whole lot of would be the honey, so it's not going to hurt them. So I'm going to put this down over here, and they're going to fight over the bowl. Babies. Indian. I'm not going to get here, so she has the hair chance to you guys. Indian, so pretty. That's only like maybe a half cup in there, guys. Yep. Cindy says, oh, feeding frenzy. Come here, baby girl. Wait. Let me have a couple bites before you guys eat it off. Okay. Good. So, my pie crust is kind of malleable because I've had it sitting on this pan, which is sitting on top of the oven, which is heating up. So it's pretty soft. So what I do is I bring it up to the middle and pinch it. And then you want to pinch it closed all the way around. For starters, oh, I almost forgot another thing. And I do everything, almost with my hands. Okay. I know I didn't touch the dogs, so don't be thinking, oh my God, she touched the dogs. This is an egg wash, which is just simply an egg mixed up with a little bitty splash of water and beaten really well. And this will keep your crust together once you stick it down. It'll keep it stuck. Normally, yeah, I'd use a little brush or something, but I made some of these last night, so it's in the dishwasher. And this was kind of a last minute idea to do this video, so forgive me, please. Okay. Hands are washed. Let's try this again. Here we go. You can pull it over to meat if you like, depending on how it's kind of rolling. Make a little half moon like that. And to get your edges crimped, you try to get them as even with each other as you possibly can, like that. Excuse me. And then starting, you just fold over and pinch. Fold over and pinch all the way around, so you have kind of a little fluted sort of pie crust looking deal here. But that keeps the edges together so that your filling doesn't come flying out of there when the steam hits it. Give it kind of a hug, and then just take a knife and poke a few vent holes in the top of it. And you're ready to stick it in the oven. Super easy. So let me pause you guys there, and when the oven has heated up, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I washed my little pastry brush here. So once again, I've got my egg wash. I'm going to brush the top of it. This does a couple things for us. This is going to make the top shiny and nice and golden brown, and I like to get it on the little crimpy part too. And it's also going to help our Parmesan stick to the crust so that it gets that kind of crispy, crunchy, toasty cheesiness on there. You know what I mean? There we go. And if a little bit of it falls off onto the baking pan, no worries. It's all good. I've never tried it, but I understand you can make little crackers out of this kind of Parmesan, like grate some Parmesan into a little pile, and then you put them, I don't know if you do it under the boiler or what. So I'm going to set my oven. It's on 350. It has preheated, but I'm going to do the convection part so that the air kind of circulates all around this pan. I'm going to put it in, and then I'll come back when it's all done. I think it's going to be about 15 minutes. And we're back. It's like magic. So here we go. It took about 25 minutes in my oven on 350 using the convection feature. And so I've been cooling it for a little bit. And I'm going to move it out here onto a rack. This is a nonstick pan that's very, very non-sticky. Otherwise, you might want to spray it with some Pam or something, or oil it. And we're just going to let it cool a little bit more. The But in the meantime, okay, so I cooled this quite a bit. It's been on this rack for a while. And I'm going to put it on this plate. And I'm going to cut it open so you guys can see what it looks like on the inside. Now this is actually enough for the 3 of us to have a meal. I would cut it in about 3 pieces, you know, so we'd each have kind of a pizza wedge shaped. And of course I want the end because I have to do all the carbs, you know. But this is really good, like with some corn on the cob. And if you want to serve the corn on the cob elote style like they do in Mexico, it's even better. And if you've never heard of that, well, I'll tell you what it's all about. So you take your corn, which has been cooked however you want it cooked, and they put a little layer of mayo, a little layer of Parmesan cheese. They put a little bit of this pico limon seasoning, and then they squeeze lime over it. Oh, and it's so good, you guys. So I'm just going to hack the end off here. Do this where you can see. And I will put the rest back on. They hold up pretty well. So that's what they look like on the inside. And you grab a fork here. Take a little taste. Of course, these ingredients were already cooked, so it's just kind of a matter of warming them back up in the oven. You know, if you wanted to, you could warm them up in the microwave before you put it in the raw pie dough, just to kind of make things start more even. But it all works out just the same. Oh my gosh, so yummy. Seriously. And the pie crust comes out nice and crisp. Not sure if you can hear that. And flaky. Well, it does for me because I didn't make the pie crust. Oh. Try it, you guys. Thanks for watching. Of course, I'd love it if you gave me a thumbs up. If you think that I did a good job surviving this last minute idea of a video. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.